Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salam ala Rasul Karim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Takaful online course. And today we'll be talking about the concept, meaning and along with the technical definitions of Takaful. Let's start by saying that the literal meaning of the word Takaful coming from the word kafala. And it has been mentioned in the Quran al-Karim more than 20 times, and also it was mentioned in the Quran al-Karim, in the Sunnah of the tradition of the Prophet ﷺ also many times, which indicate different meanings. Among them, basically to guarantee and also to indemnify and to secure one's need, and also to care about something. So it has all this meaning, which is more relevant to the concept, to the takaful that we are talking about, where there is a kind of mutual guarantee, mutual responsibility, mutual cooperation, mutual help and assistance, and protections. When it comes to the technical meaning of the takaful, it's referred basically to a mutual contribution of participants to the same funds. So meaning participant members who are joining a specific group, let's say a specific company, a specific takaful operator, so they become a member in this pool, and they have a kind of a consistent contributions to a specific funds with the purpose of having a mutual indemnity in the case of harm and unforeseen circumstances, meaning that they have an objective, that they have a kind of a consistent, regular contributions to the funds with the objective that they will be protected in a case of unforeseen circumstances for any one of the members. It is also could be understood as well as takaful is a type of an Islamic insurance, wherein members contribute money, so a kind of contributions, into a pool system to guarantee each other. So again, it is a contributions of a group to a specific pool, to a specific system with the objective to guarantee each other against losses or damage. So the individual are responsible to cooperate and protect one another through the takaful operators, who is the agent of the member. So there is one takaful operator who is basically appointed by the member or agree to subscribe to his agency in order to administer and manage their affairs through these funds with the objective to meet the mutual protections of this member. So if you go a bit on the illustrations by IOFI in its Sharia standards in takaful, they said that the Islamic insurance is a process of agreement. So it's a kind of agreement, because at the end of the day, when you join the takaful operators or the group, you have to sign a policy. It is a form of an agreement among a group of persons to handle the injuries resulting from a specific risk to which all of them are vulnerable. So again, it is a kind of joining together, is a kind of a grouping in collaborations with the takaful operators, whereby it will be in a form of agreements, and again to contribute a specific money to the system, to the pool, with the objective that they will be protected in case of unforeseen circumstances or in case of any specific risk. Again, IOFI says a process does initiated involve payments. The payments basically is in a form of contributions by the group, by the members, involve payments of contributors as a donation. So basically the members or the people who join will be having a commitment in a form of contributions, in a form of payments or contributions in a form of donation. And this is why the contract or the business model of Takaful is based on a donation contract, based on a tabarru'at contract, as we are going to highlight in details. And lead to the establishment of an insurance funds that basically enjoy the status of a legal entity and has an independent financial liability, meaning that it's moving from a traditional concept of the Takaful Ijtimai to something which become regulated through law, guidelines, standards, become official entity which has an independent entity with a financial independent financial liability. This entity basically it will be appointed as an agent that manage the affair of the funds for the interest of the participant. Again, the resource of the fund are used to indemnify any participants who encounter injury. So the purpose of these funds, which of course partially will be invested, its purpose is to compensate, is to secure, is to protect, is to compensate, is to help, is to assess any injuries, any kind of risk from the participants who of course encounter injuries, accidents, harms, and so on and so forth, subject to a specific sets of rules and given process of documentation. So of course it is not open for everyone. It is subject to some SOP. It is subject to a specific process that the member has to follow in order for the Takaful operators to administer those claims, those submissions, and do its proper due diligence and follow the SOP in order to compensate whatever possible claim, because the Takaful operators as well as a wakil is mandated to protect the funds for the interest of the participants. So meaning a due process, a proper SOP, proper administrations of the claim, proper administrations of the paper and documentation should be in place in order to ensure that the funds is protected and those claims are genuine claims and interests of the group and the participants and the contributors are protected. And of course, the funds is managed by either a selected group of a policy holders or a joint company. This is just what's so called the possible structure that could be, but here we are talking about a specific company, which is regulated by the central bank that look after the interests of the policy holder and have a license to operate as a Takaful operator. The following points that we would like to highlight is basically the status of the Islamic insurance according to the Islamic Fiqh Academy. The IOF here mentioned that Islamic insurance is based on the commitments of the participants to make donations for the sake of their own interests. Again, here it is a kind of contributions, we re-emphasize on it, which is by the contributors for the sake of their own interest. And also the participant therefore protect their group by payments of contributions. So it is protected through this kind of payment, which is a kind of contributions, and that constitute the resources of the insurance fund, meaning that the fund, the source of the funds is coming basically from the participant. It is collected by the participant, and that fund basically that will be invested and managed well by the Takaful operator will basically goes back to the members in case when they encounter, as we mentioned, accidents, injury, and so on and so forth. So it is for their own interest. And of course assign the managements of that fund to the committee of the policyholder, or join again, it is basically a specific entity which is again licensed by a central bank to take that kind of responsibility. So in the later case, the company assumed the job on the basis of remunerations wakil or agency contract, which means that the status of the takaful operators is acting as a kind of agents, wakil, for the participant, meaning the participant who are the contributors are the principal, and the takaful operator basically represent the wakil or the agents who will look after the interests of the members. And of course, in addition to this, he has also responsibility to invest that money in order for the funds to grow in a different class of investment, and don't keep it idle. And this one could be based on mudaraba, it could be based also on wakala bil istithmar, or any kind of underlying contract, but the most popular one is basically mudaraba, meaning that the relationship between the policyholders and the wakil, the takaful operating in one hand is an agency contract. On the other hand, when it comes to the investment, the relationship between the two, it will be in a form of mudaraba, where the takaful operator will be acted as a mudarib to invest the fund on behalf of the policyholders to ensure that the fund is secure and there is a sufficient fund is not left idle in order to sustain the fund. This is some of the basic points that highlight again the concept of takaful, what is it, and how it works and operates. Inshallah, in the coming sessions, we will zoom into more points and details to illustrate the takaful aspect in a very clear manner that help everyone to understand what is takaful and how takaful works and how takaful operates, and importantly the business model of takaful and the relationship between the different parties within this structure. Thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.